I was 31 when I realized how quietly life can fall apart. Not all at once, not like the dramatic breakdowns they show in movies. It happens in tiny moments you don't even notice at first, little cracks, small silences, things left unsaid. And then one day, you're standing in the middle of your life, wondering how everything became so unfamiliar. I live in a quiet one-bedroom apartment on the west side of the city. The walls are pale, the curtains thin, and the air always carries the faint smell of vanilla candles. Because I light one every night to make the place feel warmer than it actually is. On the shelf by the window sits a picture of my younger brother, Nathan. He had the kind of smile that made people turn around. The kind of smile that made you want to be better. He died 3 years ago in a car accident, and sometimes I still expect him to walk through my door with that goofy grin, holding takeout and saying, "Did you miss me?" Losing him changed everything. It changed me. I used to be someone who saw the good in every situation. The type who believed everything happened for a reason. My friends would roll their eyes and say, "There goes Emily with her sunshine speeches again." But after Nathan, the sunshine dimmed. The world felt colder. I felt colder. My mom tried her best to hold us together, but grief doesn't care about effort. It pulls people apart even when they're trying to love each other. She moved to live with my aunt, needing quiet and stability. My dad buried himself in work, and I just tried to breathe. Before all this, I worked at a community center as a counselor for teenagers. I loved it, listening to their stories, helping them figure out their messy emotions, reminding them that they mattered. Funny how I could help everyone except myself. After Nathan died, I started showing up late, then missing days, then avoiding people entirely. When my boss gently suggested taking a break, I didn't argue. I packed my things, nodded, and told her I'd be back when I felt like myself again. Spoiler, that version of me never returned. Most nights I sat on my couch, staring at the streetlights outside like they were the only things alive. People walked by in pairs in love, laughing, fighting, living. Meanwhile, I felt stuck, frozen, invisible. I told myself I needed time, but time only made the emptiness louder. Everything started to change on a Thursday afternoon. I remember it clearly because it was raining, the kind of soft, steady rain that makes the world feel like it's whispering. I had forced myself out of the apartment to buy groceries. Even though the thought of talking to a cashier made my chest tighten. When I stepped outside, I saw a girl sitting under the awning of my building, maybe 10, maybe 11. Her clothes were soaked, her hair dripping, but she wasn't crying. She wasn't scared. She just sat there with her backpack hugged to her chest, staring at the ground. I hesitated. Normally, I avoided strangers, avoided questions. But something about Hertha, stillness in her eyes, felt too familiar. I walked toward her and said softly, "Hey, you okay out here?" She looked up, startled. Her voice was barely a whisper when she said, "I didn't know where to go." I didn't push her for details. Instead, I held out my umbrella and said, "Come inside for a bit. You don't have to talk. Just get warm." She followed without a word. Inside my apartment, she stood near the door like she might run at any second. I handed her a towel and a mug of hot chocolate. And after a long moment, she finally spoke. "My mom left this morning. My dad said she's coming back, but she always says she's coming back." The pain in her voice cracked something inside me. I learned her name was Lily. Her parents fought a lot. Her mom had a habit of disappearing for days. Lily came to my building because she didn't want to be home when her mom walked out again. "It hurts less if I'm already gone," she said. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to fix anything. But I knew what pain felt like, and I knew what loneliness could do to a child. So I sat beside her and said, "Sometimes people leave because they don't know how to stay. But their choices aren't your fault." Her eyes softened a little. Over the next few weeks, she started visiting after school. Sometimes she talked. Sometimes she sat quietly drawing at my table while I worked on old journals I had abandoned. For the first time in years, I felt needed, useful, alive. One afternoon, she asked, "Why do you live alone? Where's your family?" I froze for a moment, caught off guard. No one had asked me that in years. I took a slow breath and told her the truth about Nathan, about how losing him made everything inside me collapse. When I finished, Lily leaned her head on my shoulder and whispered, "I'm sorry." I had heard those words before, but coming from her, they felt different. They didn't feel like pity. They felt like understanding. Something shifted inside me that day, something fragile but real. I didn't want to be the person who was only surviving. I wanted to be someone who lived again. The real turning point came unexpectedly. I had taken Lily to the community center because she wanted to see where I used to work. The moment I walked in, everything felt familiar: the bright murals on the walls, the laughter echoing from the gym, the smell of paint and sneakers. My old boss, Maria, saw me before I could escape, and she rushed over with open arms. I stiffened, but she didn't let go. "You look better," she said, holding me at arm's length. "You look like you're waking up." I didn't know I needed to hear that until she said it. She noticed Lily beside me and welcomed her like she belonged there. After a while, Maria pulled me aside and said, "You should come back, even if it's just part-time. The kids need you, and I think you need them too." That night, I sat in my apartment, staring at the ceiling, thinking about her words. Maybe she was right. Maybe healing didn't mean forgetting. Maybe it meant finding a new way to breathe. I didn't decide immediately, but the idea planted itself in me like a seed. Weeks passed, and the seed grew. I started helping Lily with her homework, teaching her how to stand up for herself, listening when her world felt too loud. And somewhere in those long talks and quiet moments, I began to feel like myself again, not the old version, but someone softer, wiser, stronger. I eventually returned to the community center. The first day back, I felt nervous, like someone entering their own life for the first time. But when the kids rushed up to me with smiles and questions and messy excitement, something warm filled my chest. Hope, real hope, not the forced kind people expect from you. Now, a year later, my apartment still smells like vanilla candles. The picture of Nathan is still on my shelf. I still miss him. Some days the ache is sharp, other days it's soft, but it no longer controls me. My mom calls me more often now, and our conversations feel lighter. My dad's learning how to open up too. And Lily, she's doing better. Her mom still leaves sometimes, but Lily knows she has a place to run to. She knows she's not alone. And maybe that's what healing really is. Not erasing the past, not pretending the pain never existed, but learning to open the door again, learning to let light back in, learning to live with the memories instead of running from them. If you're listening to this and your life feels like it's falling apart, please hear me. You're not broken. You're becoming. Grief isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that you loved deeply. And the fact that you're still here, still fighting, still trying, that means there's more ahead for you than the pain behind you. Life won't always make sense. People will leave. Hearts will break. But there will always be someone, something, some small moment that pulls you back, sometimes a stranger, sometimes a friend, sometimes a child, sitting in the rain needing warmth. And sometimes, it's just you deciding that you deserve to live again. You do. You always did. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.